All over the world, employees are handing in their 2 weeks' notice in record numbers. This trend has been slowly increasing, but since the effects of COVID in 2020, it has hit record numbers. Employers all over the world are wondering why this is happening. Is it because of money? Because everyone wants to work from home? Or is it just that employees don't want to work anymore? The reality is, the reasons for all these employees quitting is complicated. There's no easy answer. But broadly, it's not just because of money or convenience. And in 99% of situations, it has nothing to do with work ethic. What it does have to do with is job dissatisfaction. Employees around the world who are dissatisfied with their jobs are quitting to find a better option. But what is making them dissatisfied? Well, it's that the factors that exist in our workplaces, things like job security and company policies, are not meeting employee expectations anymore. The factors of the workplace are out of alignment with the expectations of the workforce. People expect that the aspects of their jobs, like safety and wages, are going to be competitive, sufficient, and equitable. And when they're not, employees become dissatisfied. So what are all of these factors, and how can they meet the workforce's expectations? Well, to understand that, we need to create a better understanding of what is called the 7x3 rule. The 7x3 rule outlines what 7 factors of the workplace are and how they need to be addressed by the 3 expectations of the workforce. So let's take a closer look at each of the 7 dissatisfaction factors from the perspective of the 3 expectations. First is wellness. Does your workplace have a level of support for the emotional well-being of your workers that is competitive with other workplaces in your industry or geographic region? Does your workplace offer a sufficient level of care for the mental and emotional climate of your workplace? Things like benefits that support mental health, wellness days, normalized acceptance of the fluctuations in people's moods and mental states. Does the support and care actually meet the actual needs of your employees? Does your workplace provide equitable access and opportunities to the current programs? Are some staff and positions given more or less access to the supports based on seniority or job duties, or even worse, favoritism? Conditions. Are the physical conditions of the workplace and the nature of the jobs on par or better than similar jobs in your industry or geographic region? Are the physical conditions of the workplace sufficient to provide tolerable working environments? Are there protocols or equipment that you could provide to improve conditions to allow for more comfort and less fatigue? Are the physical conditions of the workplace perceived as equitable for all staff? Is there a stark difference in the conditions between different staff or roles, or between the staff and management? Are there opportunities to level the playing field? Policies. Are the rules and policies of your workplace competitive with those of your peers? Are they more or less punitive, more or less empowering? Are the rules and policies of your workplace sufficient and transparent that allows employees to do their jobs effectively, safely, and with dignity? Are the rules and policies of your workplace fairly and equitably drafted and enforced to allow employees to operate and have success on equal ground? Compensation. Does your workplace provide wages, benefits, perks that are competitive with your industry or geographic region? Does your workplace provide wages and benefits that an employee can reasonably live on and maintain an acceptable quality of life? Does your workplace provide equitable pay and benefits to all staff who are doing the same work? Are there reasonable sense of fairness in pay between all levels of employees, from senior leadership to frontline? Job security. Does your workplace have comparable amounts of job security for your industry and the nature of your work? Does your workplace have a reasonable amount of job security and income protection to allow employees to plan for the medium and long term? Does your workplace have equitable and transparent levels of job security for specific jobs within the organization? Safety. Does your workplace have acceptable and comparable levels of risk and safety protections for your industry or geographic region? Does your workplace have sufficient level of safety where employees are properly trained, prepared, compensated, and willing to accept the risks of their job? Does your workplace have equitable and fair levels of risk among the different roles? Are the riskier roles properly trained and fairly treated, fairly compensated, and cycled to allow dignified treatment? And last is consistency. Are the tasks and conditions of your workplace consistent with what an employee was hired to do and on par with your peers in your industry or geographic region? Are the tasks and conditions of your workplace meeting what your employees anticipate and allowing them to develop a sense of competence and proficiency in their work? Are the tasks and conditions of your workplace equitable and consistent within operational requirements and provided to all staff?